the 4 planets at 4 degrees, the cosmic basket. Well, not Barbel's belt, Barbel's basket, but I call it the cosmic basket, where we are and we just coming out of this new moon. So we're feeling new energies. It was a code of 717 on the 17th. I'm pushing time. So pushing time is I'm still up, even though it's a rising for a lot of people. I'm still up, and it's like bedtime for us around here, for those who understand pushing time. And pushing time is like, sometimes a lot of people ask me, like, when you're pushing time, what are you doing? And it is coming off of the old timeline. It's kind of like unraveling and unwinding out of the old timeline. Peace, love, and light. Tap it up for whoever's passing through, so that those who can find the frequencies on the higher frequencies can get to it, because we activate the algorithm. So if you're coming through and you're just passing through, just go ahead and send some hearts on the way through. Nothing that's gonna hurt, but it's gonna help those on the ascension path, on the ones and twos. So when pushing time, it's helping to open up space and time. The first thing is it's unraveling time, because they put us up 8 years ahead with the Gregorian calendar, because we're really in 2018. Greetings, greetings. So they're putting us 8 years ahead. So by me practicing time pushing, which I didn't do on my own on purpose, it's just being guided into that. It pulls back the time. It's kind of like pulling back the curtain on time. And within that week, what happens is we go to bed like an hour later, an hour or two later every day, day by day, until it cycles through the entire week. And when we do that, it at the end of the week, every time, I've been doing this since 2023, every time we do it, by the end of the week, you can feel like this space in time. You literally feel that you've like created more space in time, because we're time vessels. We are the timekeepers. We are the ones who are pushing time, keeping time. Time exists within us. Um, Time exists within this earth. That's why we have things set up a certain way. That's why we have the 4 corners of the earth. We have the foundational 4. We have the 4 seasons. We have the cosmic body, the celestial bodies, and the way the cosmology is just so divinely orchestrated. It is very timely. That is why I call it the tick of the talk of the cosmic clock. It is very timely, and how it structures us and how we're connected with time. And our ancient ones knew this. And a lot of us in our ancient DNA know this as well. So when I push time, every time I do it, it usually happens about once a month. I cycle through this entire week, and by the end of the week, there is so much space. You can literally feel it. And we live in a time-space reality. So within the time-space reality, you create space, you open space within time. And this is why the 5D calendar is really a strong tool to help you even see where you are truly in time, cosmically, according to the cosmic design, not according to man's set and man's time, but the cosmic design. Peace, love, and light. Thank you for the follow. Thank you for the gifts, the hearts, and whoever is passing through and where it all starts. So time pushing, and I know a lot of people ask me if I'm going to write, well, not a lot, but the ones I do talk to about it, if I have anything in writing on it. So at some point, I have been talking about it, and at some point I'm going to put something in it in writing, where, people can have it as a tool, and have it to really kind of understand how you can utilize it to help you push time. And so what's happening, and what I notice, is every time we push time, we end up a day behind everybody else. Literally, it's like we're there on Saturday and we're still on like basically like how everybody's waking up to a Saturday right now. We're on a Friday night, going to sleep for Friday night. So it really kind of, and every time you do that, if you think about it, we're a day behind every time we doing it. So it's kind of like dialing back the time, and not really dialing them back, but unwinding out of their time, out of their clock. It's like we're stepping back every time that we do it, to return to the origins of time. Now, I don't know how long that's going to take. I'm not looking at it like that. I'm just going with it as spirit guides me. So that is something that we do with the time pushing. So again, it really helps to have that 5D calendar. If you don't have it, you might want to look into it, message me, Um, and as soon as when you Zelle with the email that's in on my page, then you put it in the memo, you put your address, and I mail it right out to you. And it really helps you to find your origins of time, to find your true timeline within time. And in the 5D calendar, the months start. We use I'm not even say we. This is what it is. The true month are what they call zodiac signs, what they give you as a horoscope. That is really not a horror story. Is really the true essence of time. So Aries is the first month. Right now we're in the month of Cancer. That's the fourth month. And we're closing that out and we're about to enter into the month of Leo. So when you are in alignment with these times, like they throw us so much off. By the time you get into a month, the month already started, right? By the time they put you in a year early, way before the year really starts, by telling you January is the new year when you're in the middle of a winter season, when you're in the last quarter of the year, right? So these are just things that, tools that help guide us. So this is all part of, as we're ascending into the next timeline and we're shifting, these tools help guide you into that, right? So this is part of the newness, as this 717 code was bringing. So for me, I'm still on the 7, the end of Friday, it was a 717, and that's where I saw the 77, and it was closing out this new moon window. If anyone has seen the video, if you hadn't, you can get a chance to look at the video. It's on my page, moon window. And this new moon was really bringing an essence of reset, emotional reset. It was a new moon in Cancer. Cancer is waters. There's been a lot to do with waters. People are in their sacral chakra. Like, the sacral chakra is the emotional body. So sometimes when people are saying, I feel this in my sacral and things like that, and it's like, yeah, it's the emotional body. We're processing a lot of what has been happening through the emotional body, particularly in this month of July, which is really the Cancer month, the month of Cancer. And it is a body of water. And Cancer this is why we got to understand the principalities of each house. Each month is a house of principalities. And so the principality of Cancer is home life, family, the maternal energy, the maternal lineage, the nurturer, and it's also about emotions. And then the moon rules this house. So the moon in itself is about your internal emotional world, and it rules the house of Cancer. So there's so much emotional upstir that we've been sensing and feeling, right? I thought there was supposed to be 13. Hold on, let me see what you're saying, because I don't want to miss that either. Hold on. Let me make sure. Give me a second. Give me a second. All right, let me see what you were saying. Welcome in. Hi, Denise and S and Wealth Power. We have wealth and power. I thought there was supposed to be 13 true months in reality, but there are only 12 zodiac signs. And that's something that I'm still working on. I agree with you too, because when you go with the Mayan calendar, in which I do have the Mayan New Year on my 5D calendar. But when you go with the Mayan calendar has 13 months, and it's 13 months of like 28 days. And I've actually went through it on the calendar, and it adds up. It's like, okay, that is 13 months of 28 days. So there are 13 months. And but there are 12 houses, and there is something in that is inclusive. It's almost like there are 12 disciples. If you can I'm going to parallel it to the disciples to kind of explain it. It's like how there are 12 disciples, and then there's Christ, the 13th. So just like there's 12 hours, um 12 12 hours, yeah, 1 2 3, yeah, 12 hours on the clock, and then there's you, like you represent that there's that you in it. There's 12 faculties, which are the faculties within you as well, and then there's you. So that 13th is almost like a given, um that it's within it and it's infused within it. And I'm still looking more into it. I'm still like asking for more guidance with that as well. So I'm with you on that. Like, I've done it. Yes, there are 13 months, but there are 12 houses. So there's something, it's almost like the 13th is infused in that 12, if that makes sense. Um, and that 12 has to do with the 360 degrees. When you go through the 12 gates and the 12 houses, that is the 360 degrees that we are in. So it's and 12, if you go by the 12 in that way, that matches up because you have 30 degrees in each month, right? Which is, the month is how much time it takes for Earth to get through that particular house around the sun. All right, so I know they say sun sign, but it's really your earth sign because the sun doesn't go around the earth, it's the earth that's going around the sun. So it's 30 degrees, and 30 degrees is 30 days. Like degrees are days, if you kind of notice that. So that's why we're in a particular house for about 30 days because it's 30 degrees, and it's not exact every time because the way we orbit is not a perfect circle, if that makes sense. All right, faithfully, I was able to answer that. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the likes. S Awilo. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Awilio. Awilio. I will ya. I will ya. That's what I'm hearing. I will ya. But thank you so much, S. The Alchemist says actually 13. Okay. Ashe. You are the 13th one. Yes, that's what I was saying. So that's what I realized too, that it is you that makes the 13th. You are inclusive of that. But yes, when you go by the Mayan calendar, it is 13 days of 13 months of 28 days. So Ashe, it is the 12th and it's the 13th, and the 13th includes all of the 12. So this is why when it comes to alchemists, I'm pretty sure you know this. This is why when it comes to divinity and divine, I don't try to be too exact. I don't try to be too, because the universe is not exact, right? You're never going to catch time because time is not exact. You just have to understand that there's a guiding order, but it's not going to be exact. And there are different calendars. There's no one way. So even when I tell people about the 5D calendar, it's not the only calendar, but it is a tool and it is a true timeline. As long as you're on a true timeline calendar that is in alignment with the structure and not a calendar that is illusionary and throwing you out of the order of time, which is what the Gregorian calendar does. It's very illusionary and it completely throws you off of like cosmic alignments. Like we miss so many cosmic alignments because of the Gregorian calendar. And it's so funny though, because there's certain things that they have that still points to the cosmic alignments, like the Sirius gateway. There's certain things that happens around these times that we are somehow in alignment with it, but we're not in intentional alignment. We're not in true alignment, right? We're distracted, and we allow them to harvest our energy while they are aware of these alignments. They throw us off so we don't tap into our true divinity and we don't plug in. But the alignments are there, right? Power and peace to the host in the chat. Good day. Thank you. Dua, dua. It says dua, but I'm hearing dua, dua, like in Kemet. In Kemet, that is like thank you, dua. Y'all know I'm Kemetically inclined. Shout out to my Kemetic people in here. Do we have any Kemetic people in here? Drop a Kemet in the chat. You represent as the observer. Yes, the alchemist. We are the observer. That 13th, what is that? Oh, that 13th is the observer. I like how you put that. We are representative of that as the observer. The Mayans must have 13 gates to 12 houses with 365 rooms. Okay, I could see that because I've heard about that as well. We gotta recheck that. So because when I checked it and I counted from the Mayan New Year is coming up, by the way. The 25th of July is considered a day out of time, right before their New Year. We call it the Galactic New Year. Kemet. Yep, see, I see my Kemetic people lined up in here. So when we counted from the day out of time and we counted the Mayan New Year and I went all through the calendar and I counted every day, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 28 days in each month, and it brings you right back to the day out of time. They have 28 days, and the only extra day they have is the day out of time. So it is there, right? You represent as an observer. Let me continue to see. I'm always connected to people who know themselves. Talk about spirituality, that I'm drawn close. Ashe. Reincarnation. That's why. You okay, reincarnation. What's can? What do you mean, S, when you say what's can? Unless something was misspelled and I missed something, but I see what's can. What do you mean by that? And yes, reincarnation, we're always drawn. That's called synchronicities. That's called alignment. Always drawn to people who are on their spiritual nature. And that's the way it's supposed to be, especially in these times while we are connecting with our soul tribes. Ashe, if you are still up, you're a wolf. Chronotypes, what does it say? Chronotype type. We have high energy during these hours. Okay, I take that. I'll be the wolf because I am up. And like I said, I'll be pushing time. So every day it's going to be a little bit more. It's going to be another 2 hours. Right now it's pretty much bedtime. As soon as I get off of this, I had a little nap, but it's bedtime. And it's the whole household, right? And then the next day, bedtime is going to be like around 8 o'clock, and when it goes 2 hours and 2 hours until we cycle out. Ah, Leo. Oh, that's how it's pronounced. Ah, Leo. Ah, Leo. There are 4 different chronotypes. Ashe. Share those chronotypes with me, if you will. And if you can send me those in messages too. Coco, what is it? Coco Chaos. If you can send me those chronotypes in messages, because I like to infuse more information. It's never enough. I like to see the different aspects. And I've heard of chronotypes, but if you can, please message me and send that to me. Deborah, hi everybody. Can we talk about the 5D? We sure can, because I'm all about 5D. I'm oh so 5D. I love the 5D. And let me know if there's anything in particular that you want to talk about the 5D, because that's a broad range for me. Like I could talk about so many things in 5D. Right? I could talk about the bifurcation bridge, which is, the split, the divergence to convergence from the bifurcation split into the bifurcation bridge. I can talk about the levels of 5D. I could talk about when we entered 5D, where we are in 5D, because there's so much happening in 5D. If you're still up, okay, I saw that one exactly. Order is 369. Speak that. Speak that, Deborah. 369. And there are 360 days. We are in a year 1 now. Yep, the 1 cycle. Yep, you know it. The cycle every 9 years. With with the year 2026, that's a year 1. That's by the 3D calendar, right? If you get the 5D calendar, you're going to see that it says 2018, which by 2018 is what we would go by. The Ethiopian calendar and the Mayan calendar are the ones who are, let's say, in the remembrance of that year that we're in 2018. Remember, they bumped us up 8 years ahead. So we're really in 2018, which means we're really in a universal year of 2, right? And whenever we align, like the bridge, I call it a bridge alignment. When we align with 3D, this is where I call it a bridge opportunity, which is in the winter season. Because when they go up a year, then they catch up to us for 3 months until spring shifts us into the new year. Because our new year is the spring equinox. The spring equinox begins a whole new year. So we'll be in 2018 until spring, and then we'll be in 2019. So we were for those of us in 5D and who've been using the 5D calendar, we've been in the universal year of 1 all year last year, right? And then when they hit 26, then they were caught up with us in a universal year 1 until spring, if that makes sense. Sisters, start doing Christ's work, the one who died for you. Okay, all right. Well, your Christ's work is not here. You might want to go somewhere else for that. The ones who are lost, like, I don't even go back and forth with y'all. You just got to know yourself. You just fell into the wrong portal right now, or it might have been the right portal. Maybe you fell here because the divine is trying to grab you and tell you to stop doing the devil's work. You're the one that's lost somewhere, but I'm not going to go there with you. You going to find that in your own time, right? Because those timelines that you in are closing, have closed, are collapsing, and it can't do nothing for you but limit your soul. So you can stay in the limited edition of life. You found the right one today, and what you do with it is on you. So it's either you open that third eye or you keep on the level that you're at, right? What is on the 19th of July? The 19th of July is, and that came to me. What is it? It's something that I'm going to talk about that probably more tomorrow or on the 19th, because I don't want to go too much into it. Today it was coming up for me about what's coming up on the 19th, and I'm still processing it. So I'm going to see, go into my spirit team and see what it is. What I do know is that while we are in this window between the 18th to the 21st, we're in that basket. We're in that basket with 4 planets that are at 4 degrees. And this is the second time that has happened in this month, in the month of July, so to speak, in the month of Cancer. Because on July 4th, there was another 4 planet at 4 degrees. And now we have another 4 planet at 4 degrees. And this is speaking to the 5D, right? This is definitely, I'm going to get more into the 5D. Let me talk more. I'm just catching up to the messages. Peace, Noble. Peace, Soul Tribe. Yes, the Ethiopian calendar. You get it. Ashe, Ashe. So you all see, I know the true ones is here. You get it. You know about that calendar. We're really in 2018. Ashe, Grand Rising. For me, it's nighttime, it's bedtime, but Grand Rising to you. Ashe, Ashe. So let me see. Was anybody in here? Let me ask anybody here in the chat. On YouTube, I know they responded. Peace, love, and light to you all. We got our Kemet people in YouTube. Are there any Kemet people in TikTok? Anybody here Kemetically inclined? Drop a Kemet in the chat. Just drop Kemet. Let me see how many of you here are Kemetically inclined, aligned to our ancient ones. Some of us got this ancient blood in your DNA. How do you know? Some of you may be drawn to Kemet, to what they call ancient Egypt. Some of you may just have this natural affiliation to ancient Egypt, and those are one of the signs that you are drawn, to Kemet. So anybody in here Kemetically inclined, I call it Kemetically inclined. You may have been taken to the pyramid. You may have gone in meditations. There's information that you're getting that draws you into Kemet, what they call ancient Egypt. And if you want to use more of the original Kemetic words rather than the Greek, what I call it, the Egypt. Egypt is a bastardized version of Kemet. And the Greek words are like Osiris. When you hear people, that's how I tune in. When I hear people say Osiris and Isis and Horus, that's the Greek terminologies. So you want to use more of the Kemetic terminologies, the origins, which is Asar, Aset, and Heru. So some of the terminologies are really, thank you, chosen one. Some of the terminologies are more Kemetically inclined. So we don't got no Kemet people in here. Where my Kemet ones at? No Kemetly inclined? Drop a Kemet in the chat. Where my Kemet ones at? Drop a Kemet in the chat. Who is Kemetically inclined? All right, Ashe, Ma. What is your account name on TikTok? It's Celestial Earth. On TikTok, it's Celestial Earth. On YouTube, it's Celestial Earth Divine Energy. So you'll find it by either putting in Divine Energy or Celestial Earth on YouTube. That's for those who are on TikTok. And for those who are on YouTube, my TikTok name is Celestial Earth. Right? I am from Puntland. It is where the Egyptians got their heritage from. Punt. I never heard of that. Puntland. Okay, give me something to look up and into. And is Puntland, is that in, let me see, is it actually in Africa, in the African region? Because the Egyptians, when I say Egyptian, remember Egyptian is like the bastardized version of Kemet. Egyptians are the Greeks that stole Kemet and renamed it as Egypt. So that's why I return to Kemet at all times, Kemetically inclined always. Ashe. So with that said, welcome my Kemetic people. So with that, that has a lot to do with how I get a lot of my information is because of my Kemetic, my ancient DNA in my blood. And we all got ancient DNA in our blood. These are the dormant codes that are waking up in all of us. And it was that ancient DNA that had awoken or woke up in me and brought me more into 5D. So my 5D background, honestly, I've been a 5D child all my life. The more I learned about the fifth dimension, the more I knew that I was one of those that came already 5D compatible, which a lot of our children nowadays are 5D compatible. Most of these, that's why y'all saying these babies are different, especially since 2020. Y'all been saying, man, these babies are different. Yeah, because we really accelerated on the dimensional planes. We took a big shift, a dip deeper into the fifth dimension. The fifth dimension was already kind of, let's say, dawning upon us. If anyone here has heard of Dolores Cannon, right? If you have, drop a Dolores in the chat. But Dolores Cannon has been, anyone who knows her knows she's been speaking about the fifth dimension. She passed now, but she's been speaking about it. And the more I heard her speak about it, I kind of caught wind of her like in 2019. And everything that she said just fit right in with how I have always been. I just never had words to put it. So I was one of those children that she may have been talking about who was just 5D compatible, right? Not ADHD, but 5D. Some people, most of those children that are ADHD that they label, they're simply more on a higher speed than us. They're 5D compatible. So their compute is faster. And so that's why a lot of us are like, what's wrong with them? They can't keep still, da 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 da, things like that, because they are at a higher speed. It's like they're more five. You know how we had to change all of our modems because you weren't 5G compatible? It's kind of like that. And so with 5D, a lot of people are having to change their modems. That's just what it is. As the timeline shifts, as we go into 5D, why we have to change, because now we're at fifth density light. The sun, which is our server that serves us light, energy, and information from the galactic center through the sun to us, is 5D compatible. It matches it. It's turned up to fifth density light. Once the Earth fully moved into 5D, the sun is going to give fifth density light, because that's what the Earth collectively is at right now. Right? Not to say there are not more dimensions. There are more dimensions. There are more streams of light coming through to those who are like, let's say 6D, 7D, 8D compatible. They can get light codes beyond the sun, if that makes sense. For those of us, which I am, for those of us who are 6D, 5D, 6D, 7D, and up, we can get light code streams more coming from the galactic center, if that makes sense. We can definitely handle the sun. Those who are 5D compatible and up, we can definitely handle the sun. For those who are 3D that have not ascended in their soul, right? So there's 5D Earth, right? But there are many people who are here that are still 3D. Let's say we're talking about computers, right? They're 3D infused, right? Yes, Dolores Cannon gives lots of info. Okay, yeah, you know about her chosen one. If anyone hasn't heard, you can look up Dolores Cannon. She gives a lot of information. And this lady been giving information from in the 80s about 5D, right? When I was a child, I never even heard of it. I wish I did, because it would have guided me through a lot of things. When people was making you feel like you crazy, you'd have been like, oh no, I'm just 5D. I've been waiting for the world to catch up. Some of us that's been feeling like, why the hell am I here? I'm waiting on the world to catch up. Now I realize a lot of times when I was younger and I just hated my life and hated this world, and it was like, oh, because I've been waiting on the world to catch up. And then it's like after 2020, when people start the Great Awakening, that's what 2020 was. Then you start to notice like everybody starting to catch up. Everybody becomes more spiritual, and spirituality expanded, and people were more accepting of certain things because you're attuning. A lot of people were waking up little by little. Even people who were still addicted to religion was still waking up. If you notice, religion has shifted. Even people in religion are dabbling, but they're opening up more into spirituality. They're either understanding ancestors more, or they're understanding things in the universe more, the cosmology more. There's things that they're just more open to. They're not as rigid, right? So the 5D is really helping us to ascend into that, right? Let me see. S says, well before Egypt. Yep. Also, Edgar Casey. Yes, chosen one. I knew about Edgar Casey since I was about maybe 12 years old. And this was like in the 90s, the early 90s. So I was aware of Edgar Casey since then. And Edgar Casey, I never heard him speak much about 5D, but he had a lot of these prophecies and these understandings of what the earth is and what it's becoming. What I like about Edgar Casey that always sticks in my head was his map of the USA. And I downloaded that map when I found it somewhere. Like I found it somewhere and saved it on my Facebook somewhere. I don't know if I could get it and extract it and kind of post it on here, but the map of the USA, and he had this vision where he saw how the USA is going to be split in half. He kind of, I think, had a map of the world, they say. But it's the geological changes that we're going to be going through. So I was always aware of that. And who else? Nostradamus, things like that. Nostradamus, Edgar Casey, these were prophets that I was aware of. But Dolores Cannon really touches on the 5D in ways that I've never heard people talk about it until now. Like myself and other people who are awakening to the fifth dimension. So in the fifth dimension, which, as I said, if you listen to Dolores Cannon, it's been happening at a very slow pace. It's been creeping up on us because the earth can't just slam us into something new, as Dolores Cannon said. And I do agree, not just because she said it, I understand it. We cannot just shift into like, bam, tomorrow we in 5D. It doesn't work like that. And 5D is not a location, right? 5D is the expansion, it's consciousness expansion. So what happens with that is it can't happen in a rapid pace. It's a gradual thing that has to happen. We have to integrate with the frequencies, or else it would be like a shock to our bodies and nobody would make it. It'll look at how people acting right now, and we've been eased into it. The earth is the universe has been very gentle with us. And look how people are reacting right now. They can't take the changes, right? We need time to go through these things. Look at the stuff that we go through in our life, world, and affairs while these changes are happening, and how it affects us at a mental, emotional state. This is why there are more people that are going into mental illness right now, that are falling into mental illness right now, which sometimes is a midway bridge. Sometimes their mental illness is a moment in time, is a spiritual psychosis that's giving them a moment to snap out of the old timelines. But if they don't, they end up being stuck without any help and guidance, and people just drugging them. They can end up being stuck and not actually shifting out into the next timeline. They kind of get stuck in that little purgatory spot mentally, emotionally in this lifetime. Right? So let me see. Facts. Love you all. Welcome in, Jacob. Welcome in. Let me see if I missed some. Okay. I'm the architect of this creation. Ashe, Jacob. Imagine, oh, okay. Imagine Demiurge evolving to incarnate and helping humanity rise. I get that. I completely get what you just said. I'm the architect, and a lot of the architects are, I would like to say, connected to Arcturians. I don't know if you are familiar with that too. A lot of downloads that I was getting when I was first getting downloads were connected to kind of Arcturian. Somebody told me Pleiadian, but I've always kind of, when I asked my spiritual team, the answer I got was more like Arcturian because I got the answer as Arcturus or Arcturo. So it was more Arcturian, and which now I'm definitely more Syrian. Some of us are like a mixture of these star seeds. And I know that the Arcturians are like architects and teachers of our planetary ascension, those type of beings. So that's why I mentioned that. But yes, the demiurge evolving to incarnate. And that's a little, like, we'd have to have a conversation, but that's a little tedious, technical to explain with the demiurge because some people are just now understanding the demiurge. Um, the demiurge, the best way I can explain it is it's like a simulation. Um, the demiurge is like a simulation. I know there's a story, there's a Gnostic story to the demiurge, and there always is. Like even the Asar, Aset, Heru, there's always a story to help us understand these divine concepts in ways that we couldn't understand and put it in a container. So sometimes we get stuck on it being just a story. So I always have to expand, the view and the vision. Don't get stuck on just the story, but the story helps explain what the demiurge is. And so it's like an assimilation. We come into this world knowing that this world is a world of duality. And the creation happens through a modality of duality. So a part of that, we come here knowing and having this experience, knowing that we're going to kind of come up against this, have this demiurge of assimilation, but it's also for the good. It's not for us to be here to constantly be fighting the demiurge. The battle is really within. It's to transcend through what the demiurge brings. As you said, a demiurge evolving, like it's an evolution. It helps with the evolution to basically helping humanity rise, because the more we transcend, when we overcome something, we transcend. And if you think about it, to overcome something, there has to be a challenge. So the demiurge is like an assimilation of challenges in this particular realm, and we're here to find the Christos Sophia, wisdom and light. The Christos is the light, and the Sophia is the wisdom. So that's why when some of you may hear about the story of the demiurge with Sophia, Sophia represents that wisdom, and Sophia, it's also like kind of plays into the Christ story. For those who maybe hear of it, it's almost like Jesus the man and Magdalene are counterparts that represented this Christos Sophia energy. That's what they were supposed to do had they not been interrupted in that divine assignment, if that makes sense. But for those who recognize it, know it, and we can still carry on the glory of the Christos Sophia energy that still helps humanity rise faithfully. You get what I'm saying, right? Awakening is not for the weak. It transforms your system. Yep. We got to be ready. It's not for the weak. I remember I kept saying that when I was going through certain, like, because we go through different layers in this fifth dimensional ascension. And I kept saying, man, this is not for the weak. You really got to be a strong spirit. You really can't afford to be a weak soul. And this is why a lot of them grab for religion, the weaker souls, because that's what helped get them through. And religion is like a cover up. They don't get to actually tap into their true spiritual work because they stay under that cover up. They stay under that blanket, right? So, and when you pull them covers back and you really realize, oh shit, I can't just sit here and say, well, I live under the blood of Jesus. Like that's not going to save you. Because if you don't start having a relationship, if you don't start walking in that Christ consciousness, that's and I'm not talking about Christ the man. When I say Christ consciousness, I'm talking about the Christos energy, the light energy. I'm talking about the super conscious mind in your consciousness, right? Which is the Heru in you. The hero and the Heru in you is a super conscious mind, right? That's a whole nother conversation, like to go through the consciousness and understand that, just like I said, that demiurge story helps with a divine understanding, so does the Asar, Aset, and Heru story. It's not just a story. It's a divine consciousness, and it helps to explain the breakdown of your threefold consciousness, which is superconscious, conscious, and subconscious. And as superconscious is Heru, the subconscious is Aset, and the conscious mind is Asar, which Set dethrones Asar. And that's to show you that we have a double-minded conscious mind. That's the ego. We have the misappropriated ego, which is Set, and we have the wise ego, which is Asar. And a lot of times in our mind, in our consciousness, Set rules, Set dethrones, Set dismembers Asar and dethrones him, and we're in our misappropriated ego until Set can remember Asar and bring you back to your wise ego. It's a process that's constantly happening. It's not a one-time thing. Ashe? Yep, all that you're saying is true. Ashe, Ashe. I know the true ones. You really are chosen of the chosen of the chosen few. When you notice and it aligns and you're like, I get it. Yep, when you overcome something, you transcend. It's like Earth School for each test. You upgrade. Exactly. We come here to get that upgrade. That's what the fifth dimension, that's what the sun is doing. The sun is like, let me upgrade you. The sun is cranking it up right now for us. It's turning up the frequencies, right? Does it make you feel pain? What's that, Mooney? What do you mean by that? Does it what make you feel pain? If you could clarify that for me. Peace, love, and light, Noble. Thank you for the 100 ups. Yep, religion is indeed a cover-up. It is. It's a blanket. And they don't see it's their own demise. Like that person wanted to come in here talking about the devil's work. You the devil's work. You the one lost in the sauce, in the demiurge. Because you can't get out of that. It's a cap. It caps you. And it's orchestrated by the demiurge, by the demonic entities, those who put it together, the Constantines and them and all of that, that we can go into technical stuff and we can go into the, there's technical things that happen with just Constantine, but there's also the entities, the opposition, the demiurge assimilation that got their hands all up in humanity, mixing things up, the remix of shit. They remix because they know that Christ consciousness was about to be a big boom, and they had to cap the Christ consciousness. And they had to cap it by using it because it was that big. So they realized they couldn't kill all the Christians. They couldn't get rid of it because the Christ consciousness was wide open. So the only thing they could do is stir it the way they wanted to stir it. And that's the religious cap. Ashe. Let me see. Does it make you feel pain? Mooney, if you're still here, if you could answer that, does this change? Oh, okay, got it. I see it. Okay, so I wasn't too far down. Does this change make you feel pain? It all depends on what your perspective of pain is, right? The changes can be painful. Noble, thank you. Ashe, thank you for the heart meat. It can make you feel pain. It depends on how your perspective is. It depends on what you're willing to detach from and release. I can say this way, the tighter you hold on is the more pain you're going to feel. It's kind of like when they say you're going to have to let go like of that rope, or let's say if somebody was holding a knife and you're holding the blade, right? Ooh, thank you for that glitter heart. And it's like the tighter you hold, the more you get cut, if that makes sense. The tighter you hold, the more you get cut with that blade. Thanks for the gifts. Love right back at you. So it's not as painful as we think, but it can be. Especially if you're one of the chosen ones and you're called and you're one of the 144 ascendants, or you're a star seed that came here, especially if you came here to do a particular job, but somehow you got lost in the sauce of in the veils of amnesia, in the veils of forgetfulness, and you just kind of got lost in the sauce of the 3D world, and you haven't made certain shifts. You're still clinging to the shadows of the 3D world. Yes, it's going to be harder for you. If you're in a spiritual contract and you made it's somewhere in there that you said, I have to be a part of this awakening, and the awakening happens, but you're still drowning in, still holding on to the 3D shadows, it's going to be harder. It's going to hurt more because you have this tighter grip. Oh, blessings are coming down. There is the rain. And here comes the rain with the sunshine. So I'm getting water codes and light codes at the same damn time. Ha, ha. Truth. Jesus is the way. Okay. Go ahead and follow that religion right into the bucket that they put for you to fall in. Right now, for me, it's really sad watching people in religion in this point in the fifth dimension. You're not walking with Christ consciousness. You're walking with a man called Jesus that they gave you. And make sense of it. I can't tell you what to do with it. This is not the space for that. I don't come in. This is not, like somebody said, that sun coming up, go debate with the sun. Don't debate with me. Go sit outside, because it's those of you that's stuck in religion that the sun is going to be burning the hell up. Because you're stuck in your shadows of 3D. That means you're a soul. You're a 3D soul, and you didn't change your intel. And our sun is giving fifth density light. You can't handle the truth. So your truth is gonna burn you up. And don't argue with me. It ain't me. I ain't the one that made it up. I'm just more aligned to the truth than you are. And one day maybe you'll get it. As I told the other person before, you probably fell in here because there's a calling for you. You probably one of the ones that I was talking about. That your soul, your spirit had a choice, made a choice to come here to be a part of the ascension, but you chose to hold on to these 3D shadows and you forgot to mention. So maybe that's why you fell in here, because that calling, if you open your ears, if you take the blocks out of your mind and you open your ears, open your heart, open your consciousness, and let something really get you, instead of debating with something that feels uncomfortable to your 3D shadows, you may want to open up and listen. This may be a last chance opportunity for you to get it before something else changes. And you're probably one of the ones that's going to feel pain. I came to bring the pain hardcore from the brain. I came to bring the pain. Look, it'll be pain. It's going to hurt till it don't hurt no more. I love when Huna said that. Those of you who know who Huna is, the great Huna Kahuna, he passed not too long ago. But I love that phrase. It's going to hurt till it don't hurt no more. So get it where it's getting. Yep, the Christos, the Christ consciousness, Ashe. It's not religion. I thought that's what you were talking about. Our family know for sure Jesus had healed, delivered, and set us free. Well, that is religion. What do you mean? How you gonna say that's not religion and then talk about Jesus? That's religion. The Jesus that they gave you is religion. There's only healing in one name. No, you should know better. Ashe to you. If it's confusing, then you can't handle the truth. I don't know what to tell you. Just go outside and let the sun tell you. And when things start, whatever in your life, world, and affairs, go ahead and, ask Jesus to get it for you. And it's not of God or good. Girl, bye. I don't got time for them 3D shadows. They so lost. They like lost sparks in the blizzard. I don't know what to tell you. And they the ones sitting by getting burnt up in the sun. They whole life falling apart. Y'all already in the collapsed timelines. I don't know what to tell you. You forfeit in your mission, and you really don't even realize that the reason why the divine even brought you to this moment in time is for you to get a last wake-up call and awakening. You don't got to get it right here, but you going to get another tap. You going to get another tap. You either going to dream something or something else going to happen, but you going to get another tap, and you running out of time. Now run tell that. Go figure it out. I can't help you. Ashe? Go argue with the sun. Go talk to that SON, the real sun, the Ra. Go find that Christ consciousness in you, Heru. They done told you in your book that the kingdom is in you, but you can't see the kingdom. You so blind looking at everything on the outside that they gave you and your ancestors to kill you and your ancestors on the outside. So keep playing with death. Keep playing with the cross of death. You need to go find you an ankh. Go pick up the life vessel of the Ankh. I've been tested like forever and I never fold. I just keep climbing. Ashe, chosen one. Ashe, just keep climbing. And that's what you're going to get. Test beyond test beyond test. It's the help. We're going through the purification process. Since 2020 till now, the great awakening has happened, and a lot of people are going through purification. So a lot of things are stirring up in your life, world, and affairs to help us detach, where it's like a flushing out to help detach from old concepts that's in our bloodline, like some of the stuff that's in us. And this is why we gotta rip off the band-aid. We gotta be willing to walk away from old concepts, old traditions. Like a lot of people hold on to religion through tradition, right? And that's how they did it. That's how the demiurge meant to do it, to infuse it and interweave it into their traditions that they find so hard to break, not knowing that you are already broken in your bloodline. Your ancestors were already broken and they were made to believe in this religion. A lot of them that think that, oh, I seen major things happen in religion, that's because of you, not the religion. And you forget that you are the powerful ones. That's why they are afraid. When slaves became more into religion, they were more powerful because there's a certain power that resonates with them. It's not the religion, it's the power in you. But now you're just using a religious filter and you're running out of time with that. They're running out of time with that. Ashe, 717 on the 717, because y'all know I'm still on Friday because it's bedtime. But thank you for the 717 reminder. So remember, this is a new beginning within manifestation. So we manifesting. Ashe, right, Mooney? Ashe, Ashe. Rain confirmation. Full detachment is required to ascend the spiritual path. Yes, it is. And I've been doing, for those who may need help and assistance in this 5D transition, I've been doing 5D meetings since 2022, right? So as I said, I came into this through the Kemetic incline, through Kemetic design in my bloodline. And it brought me to 2022, just in time. Because I got my Kemetic, when I had an attunement, because I'm a Reiki master. So when I did my attunement, my first attunement, it was it was a little bit before that. It was in February. It was like in the beginning of February. I had just had my attunement, and that's when everything opened up for me in Kemet. Like I was taken to Kemet, not ancient Egypt, Kemet, speaking the language in that time, Kemet, understanding it, hearing it, and knowing exactly what was being said in that time. And it was right after that, 2022, that we had the 5D independence, right? So that was during the Pluto return. This is why we got to follow the cosmos, because the cosmos guide us and they speak to us, right? Hi, Driver and Jill Driver. So at that time, it was the Pluto return. And it was the Pluto return in the USA, which is when that Pluto return is when the let's say the coordinates at that time was exactly as it was in 1776. And whenever those coordinates are in that exact space and time, one world power is falling and another one is rising. So at that time, it was England that had fell and USA was rising. Before that, I believe it was a Napoleon fall. And before that, I think it was Rome. And so every time that there is these coordinates, something is falling and another one is rising. And at that time, that's when I was getting all kind of downloads, and it was being highlighted to me that there's no more world powers. In the fifth dimension, there's no more. We're not at the level where one person rules over here and there's no more, no borders. Even though in the third dimension we still see borders, those of us in the fifth dimension know that there are no borders. These world powers don't exist. They already fell. So because there are no more world powers, the next risen world is the new earth. and that's the fifth dimension new earth. So that's when I was getting all these major downloads about the 5D new earth, and that was on 2/22/2022. I can't make this up. So in the calendar, for those who have the 5D calendar, you'll see when you open it up, when you go to the back, right, at the end of the year, when we are in the month of Aquarius, but you'll see that it says, it may say Anubis if you have the older calendar. If you have the newer calendar, it's going to say Apuat, which is the more Kemetic name. Anubis is Greek, is more the Greek version, the Egypt version. Um, and so in that month of Aquarius, you'll see, is it Aquarius? No, 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 because it's the end of February, and the end of February is the month of Pisces. So if you look at the last month at the back of the book, you'll see in the month of Pisces that you'll see it says 5D independence, right? So that's the independence that I honor, that I attune to or celebrate, right? I don't celebrate any of their holidays because all their holidays are distractions. So, but it is collective consciousness. And on these major holidays, they are always harvesting our energy. So, on the days of collective consciousness celebrations, I harness spirituality. So, what you'll see in the 5D calendar is you'll see something termed in a spiritual way. So you'll see, for example, we just had July 4th. So wherever it says July 4th on the 5D calendar, it's going to say Soul Sovereignty Day. A day for you to remember your sovereignty, the independence of your soul. And then what are you going to do about it? Not go outside and pop firecrackers, because that's what they want. That's how you're in alignment with them. What you do is you always do the opposite of what they're doing. Whatever they're doing, you do the opposite. That's how you cancel them harvesting you. So instead of popping firecrackers and all of that, I stay in my house. I do the opposite. I do something with my children that is about soul sovereignty. It doesn't have to be boring. We just do something that is very different. I don't go out and buy nothing, because again, then you partake in the consumerism, right? Outside of regular stuff. Like if I gotta go get something to eat, I'm gonna get something to eat. Regular, like day-to-day stuff, I'll do. But I don't do anything that they solicit on that day. This is the difference between being in the 3D shadows and being one of the risen ones in the 5D. Because the 5D does not adhere to these 3D philosophies, to the shadows of 3D, right? And I'm saying shadows because I like for us to understand. Some people think you just leave 5D and leave 3D and jump into 5D, and it doesn't quite work like that, right? We got to understand it's an expansion. So we're not leaving 3D. I still got 3D in me. I'm a 3D version. Like, that's why you see me, because the earth had reached a point of third dimension once it was 2D. Like, for example, 2D consciousness is the plants. That's 2D consciousness. Once upon a time, the earth had no humans on it. And that was 2D consciousness. Everything in the earth, the elements, that's 2D consciousness. Plant life, that's 2D consciousness. And yes, it is a consciousness. Yes, it has intelligence. That's why we need to be grounding and sitting next to some trees. That's why y'all always see me outside and connecting to trees and life and the elements. So when the earth has evolved to the next level, and this is thousands, maybe millions of years ago, I don't know. I can't account for it. I wasn't a witness to it. But 2D consciousness was when there were no humans here. The moment we had, I don't even want to say just humans, the moment we had animated life force energy in this form, this is called this animation. We are the animation. 3D is the animation of life. So when we got to the level of having, let's say, animals, that's 3D. That's when the earth expanded its consciousness into the third dimension, and then it continued to develop through levels of third dimension, more and more to human beings, and to human beings that are ever evolving more and more in consciousness, until we expand into the fourth dimension, which is time. And a lot of times we don't talk about 4D because It's kind of the bridge between 3D and 5D, right? Because 4D has to do with time. A lot of us are experiencing the fourth dimension because of how we are experiencing time. Time is oscillating. Time is, that's why a lot of times we're like, damn, it feel like an hour feel like 5 minutes. Sometimes 5 minutes feel like an hour. It's time. We're realizing that we're vessels in time and that we're keepers of time and that time keeps the order and the structure and that we live in a time-space reality. So the space is within time and time within the space, vice versa, right? So let me see what else we said. Yes, to know thyself is the key. Do-wah, do-wah. That's why it says know thyself. That means get to know all the parts of you that you don't know. Logic over vain emotions. Yes. And having emotional intelligence over vain logic. Ooh, I like that. Whatever it is, it should not be vain. Emotional intelligence and emotional wisdom over vain logic as well. I like that. Thank you for that. Dude, those people didn't come here for that. They're basically just NPCs, right? That's what I was dealing with. Sometimes we get these NPCs coming through, non-participating characters. They ain't, their souls been snatched. They either soulless or their souls have been snatched. Get it, Glow? Girls say it. Hi, Glow. Welcome in. That part. Cell 1717. Ooh, we got another 17. So that code is for you. The code for yesterday, which is still my today, my tonight, is 717. The 17th of the 7th month is a 717 code in that. That was a new beginnings. And I did a video about it. So if you get a chance, you might be able to see the video called New Beginnings Within the Manifestation. Right? Because we were in this manifestation window. Peace, peace. Let me make sure I caught up to the messages. No one is coming to save us. We are here to save ourselves. Say it again, Lorraine. Save your damn self. Peace and divine alignment, soul tribe. Yes, Noble. That's what we are doing. We need to be building our lighthouse colonies on the 5D, in the 5D grid. The point that we're at right now, in the light grid activation, for those who are aware of the light grid, a lot of us are lighthouses on the light grid, right? A lot of us chosen ones, 144 ascendants, we are the lighthouses on the light grid. And we are now ascending to the level, that's where we're at right now, after this third eye atlas energy seal. And while we're in this 9-month gestation window of the 5th dimension and the bifurcation bridge, we are building lighthouse colonies, right? So it really is time for us to, why are you practicing witchcraft? What is wrong with y'all people? The NPCs are here on YouTube as well. Yep. Is this the matrix? Well, we in a divine matrix, right? That's what I consider when I'm in the 5th dimension and we ascend into our next level. This is a whole divine matrix. It's that false matrix that's falling apart. That false matrix that they in, the ones who's crying out, why are you practicing witchcraft? Why? When they are the one, you see how they in the reverse of it and they don't know. They like I said, lost farts in the blizzard. They the ones that's in witchcraft and they don't know. They so quick to call out witchcraft on you. And those be the ones that want to burn the witches at the stake. The oracles, the seers, right? But it's okay for them in their good book to call them prophets. What do you think prophets are? They sit amongst false prophets in the pews. They sit amongst, and even Jesus told them, man, I can't even bother. I don't, go argue with the son, ma'am or sir. Go let that son tell you something, because it's burning y'all the hell up. The earth is kicking into gear and spinning over and shaking off all the parasites, all the parasitic ones who are just 3D shadow parasites sitting on the earth. As she amplifies, as she goes more into the 5th dimension and the sun responds with the 5th density light. Everybody out there talking, it's so hot. Go sit in the sun. Have that conversation. You and the sun can duke it out. Right about now, we don't got no time to be wasting life force energy. Y'all come in as distractions while we in here having a whole conversation. You just not on this timeline. Go get you some. Consider yourself lucky that you even found this frequency. Go open your mind, open your heart. Go find yourself. Don't let me get brutal with you. Don't let me get raw with you. Because the next thing I was gonna say, go find yourself before you fuck yourself. You probably already effed. Anyway, let me see. No one is coming to save us. We're here to save ourselves. Okay, I did see that. Let me scroll some more. Ashe. Why are people till don't? I think something was misspelled. I don't know, but correct it if you can. Ball 726. Why our people still don't? I think maybe that's what you were saying. Our people still don't get. They still don't get it. Yep. What does it say? Our people perish for a lack of knowledge. They love to quote these things, and they so like it looks so dumb to me. Like the Bible will have so much answers right there in front of their face, and they'll quote it, and they don't realize that they the ones being the dummies. Like y'all the ones that are perishing for lack of knowledge. They put it right there in your face, and they have you repeat it, basically. But you the local dummy. You the one that's going repeating stuff. There's another Jesus AI bot. You know what? I believe you. They probably put out them little bots in there. It's probably not even a real person. Right? I am F anyway. I am F. Why are you F? Why, Shalimar? Why are you F? Thank you for the heart. Our people, they perish for a lack of knowledge, like going to church every Sunday. That part. Like I literally watch them, and it's kind of like watching people walk into a burning building all dressed up. Good morning. Sunday morning, all dressed up, and they just walking into a burning building. It's like, it's sad sometimes to look at, like, damn, they ain't get it yet. But it's clear what level they on. It don't even make no sense. Waste no time talking to them. Lost farts in the blizzard. Slaves that are still enslaved. I'm so grateful. Yep. Thank you. Thank you. It's my favorite one. And it's literally one. That's why y'all only see one. Right? I'm like, my hair hanging right here anyway. So I'm going to just pop my one earring on one side. I lost one and I wouldn't give it. And I cannot find another one like this. I found Africa. I found this. But I just cannot find one like this. I found a little mini one to this. But this one, they need your spiritual energy to keep their physical illusion. Yep, 3D is a physical illusion. That part right there, they do. And that's things that I want to talk about more with our community, because they really be tapping into our light. They need our light. The illusion, the desperate energies that's doing desperate things to hold on, they need our light source. So a lot of times they tap in just to like suction out some of that light, just to siphon that light force, because our light is still their fuel. We fuel them. Their illusionary essence, their illusionary matrix can't survive without the light. That's why they're parasites. They need a host. And the hosts are those who have the light, whether it's a big light or a little light. That's why they attach themselves to people who don't know themselves, but yet they have enough light in them that they can siphon them. Ashe. Let the truth tell it. Let the truth say Ashe. No one is coming. Yep. The third, thank you. No one is here to save us. Ashe to that. Y'all reiterating that to them, right? No one is coming here to save you. Save your damn self. Save yourself, please. The third dimension is the age of religious deception. Pisces, Jesus in the image of a fish. Right? Thank you for the gifts. Thank you for the gifts. A lot of them don't know that. The third dimension was here before that, but with dimension, the shadows of the third dimension is that religious age, right? Because when Yeshua came, right, and I'm not gonna say Jesus, because That's the letter J wasn't even here until the damn 1500s. So make it make sense when they talk about, oh, it's in the name of Jesus, but there was no name of Jesus when he was here. Anyhow, when Yeshua was here, he was bringing in the age. That's why you do see everything as fish. It has everything to do with the stars. So when they be talking about, oh, that's witchcraft, and listen, your Jesus comes out of the stars. Yeshua came to usher in the Piscean age. And that's why they always talking about fish. It's all encoded in the Bible. It's all there. They always talk about fish and they refer to him as fish because they're all missing the point that fish is because he was ushering the age of believing, coming out of the age of Ram when everyone was following a shepherd. That's why you notice in the earlier part of the Bible, it talks about the shepherd. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want, which is one of my favorite Psalms. I love the book of Psalms. I love Proverbs. But the other stuff, the other inaccuracies, like, and when you read them, if you can decode it, you'll see the truth. You cannot hide the truth. For those who truly have this eye right here open, you will see the truth. Right? So that age of the ram was coming out and he was ushering in the Piscean age, the age of the believing. That's why he talks about making them fishers of men. He's saying fish the knowledge for yourself. Go get it for yourself. Believe in yourself. It's not the age to be following a shepherd anymore. We have now evolved into the next era, the next age. That's what Yeshua was bringing it in. And that just flew right over their heads. They missed that. Right? Grand rising, beloved queen goddess. Yes. We got a Kemet. We got a Kemet, fellow Kemet sibling up in here. Welcome in. Where was you when I was looking for the Kemetic folk? Even though I know some of them in here anyway. Kemetically inclined to the cosmic design. Ashe. I'm in hell and I don't want to go to another one. Oh. Well, depends on how you see hell. Right? We could be in heaven on earth right here, and we could be in hell on earth right here. And a lot of them are living in their hell and burning in their hell right now. You don't got to wait till you cross over. A lot of them burning right now in their hell. So it depends on what your perspective is and how you see it. Maybe the process that you're going through, you call it hell. Hey, it could be that. It'll be that while you're going through it. People who talk about Jesus are clearly delusional. Some are aware they are delusional and some are not. Ashe. They know, because they don't even have full surety. I feel like even when they saying it kind of shaky when they trying to tell you, ooh, Jesus is the way and the only way. And it's like they saying it kind of shaky, like they holding on to something. They a little milkshaky about it, you know? They ain't all the way there. I know I'm burning in hell, but Yeshua is with me. Okay, well, figure it out. You better find your way out. You don't got to be burning, right? You could be going through a process. If you're talking about the burning bush that was burning yet be not consumed, right? If you're talking about that, hey, let it burn through you. The fire is good for purifying. It's a purification process. Some of us got to go through the fire. Some of us got to go through the fire. That's what it is. But you don't got to stay there. The question is, are you going to evolve? Are you transcending? Are you evolving? Are you elevating? Right? Jesus said he is the way, not us. Okay. We got the religious nuts up in here, y'all. They going nuts. They going bat. So go talk to the sun. Melanin is the gold they seek. Yep. So they keep us blind. Yep. They keep us blind to it so we don't know our true values. That part right there. But the sun is letting us know that melanin activation is serious. That's why I say go in the sun. Those of us who can take it, go in the sun. Get your melanin activation. And that melanin activation is also unlocking the mitochondria codes inside of you, because the mitochondria are the memory keys. That's the God gene in all of us, right? The mitochondria is most found in the like X chromosomes in the feminine genes. It's a feminine gene, but it's not just physical, right? So if you get a chance to, you might want to watch my video on the God gene. I think I did that like 2 days ago, right? Because it really hit when I was going through this new moon manifestation, and I woke up with it on the sacral day. That was like on the 16th, and woke up with it, and it was like, oh snap. It was, oh snap. Here it is. I am the God gene. You are the God gene. It's in you. That's the kingdom that's in you, because we're here for the remembering. We're here to get through the sea of the veil of amnesia and forgetfulness, to be in the remembering, to have a soul synapses and be in the remembering. And the memory key is that mitochondria. The memory key is the she, the feminine energy, because the subconscious mind, which is holding the feminine qualities of feeling and memory, is the key to activating what we need to activate. That's why Osset had to remember the dismembered pieces of Asar, because that key is that memory gene. The mitochondria, which is that feminine quality, is the memory gene. So when we get our melanin activation, that melanin activate, and it's information. That activation is a translation of information. That light, those light codes that's coming from the sun, is information. Always know that this is synonymous. Light, energy, and information. It's all synonymous. It's not separate. It is all one thing. That is the Trinity in the one. There are many Trinities. There are many Trinities. Whenever you understand a three in one as one, then you will see that threefold, that Trinity, because the three is a creative completion of the one. That's why the three is the main dimensional portal in the 369. Ashe, let me see if I can catch up to some of this. I don't even know how far back I am. We are in the age of Aquarius. Yes, the age of Aquarian, spiritual awakening, the age of the knowing. And that's why Yeshua said, the comforter will come. That's the comforter, the water bearer, pouring that ever living water through you, right? And that's what I like to imagine. Is I like to imagine my crown opening, like my crown just open up and pour that ever living water right through my core. Our own skin. Yes, Lorraine, the skin is like, and this is the part of us that is like plant life. We're not just animal cells. We are like plant life. We have plant cells in us too, and that's something they don't want to tell us. Like when we in school, they don't teach us that. They teach you that you're just animal cells. We got plant cells in us too. They don't want to tell you that. But how I know is because we appropriate the sun just like plants do. Just like when you go, and that's why they tell you, and even in health, they tell you go get some sun. When a baby is born, if they have jaundice or something, go put the baby in the sun. You need those light codes in your skin. And that's just like the plants that get it through their leaves. Consider the leaves their skin. Their leaves take in the light codes, and it translated through that photosynthesis process. Yeah. Our photosynthesis process is that melanin activation. Ashe, we better know it, right? Divine rising to all of you. I'm going to be going to sleep right after this. It's bedtime for me because I told y'all I'm pushing time. If anybody want to know more about pushing time, message me. When I do write that little, because I'm going to put a little pamphlet together. It's not going to be a big book, but I'm going to put a writing together so people can more understand or be guided into pushing time and what time pushing may look like for you, because it may look a little different for different people. This is just how I experience it. Every month, I go through this time pushing cycle that takes about a week until I cycle through. I go to bed 2 hours later every day until it cycles through, right? I too was blind, but now I see. Yep, been there, did that. That's right, Frog Love. Hop over that. They're trying real hard right now, trying to harvest our energies. Ashe. That's what they doing, and they doing it in the families. That's why a lot of us are pulling away through families, and the cosmos been guiding us through that. That's what Jupiter in Cancer for the whole year has been doing for us. That's what's happening right now in the finalizing stage of it. This is why a lot of y'all are so fed up right now. We've been fed up, but a lot of us right now, when you know you have learned, when you know that you know that you know, a lot of us right now have completely cut off family, and a different kind of cutoff game. Not the regular, I'm just cutting you off, I ain't talking to you. The cutoff is so real right now. It's like we're detached. The cutoff is I'm no longer attached to you or the experience with you. I've learned what I needed to learn, and I detach from that. And I stand in the love frequency. I hold no ill will against you, but I am detached. You can't pull me in your cycle anymore. I would no longer feel obligated to family. I have no family obligations right now, and it feels so free. It's like a whole new liberation. Like, don't call me. And I don't feel no pressure to go to nobody, birthday, nothing. I'm not doing none of that family foolishness right now. Because those family affairs are like demonic displays right now. Because the parasitic entanglement that's still in their bloodline and still tied up with them is insane right now. And you're not going to distract me. That's most of us that feel this energy right now. We refuse to be stopped. We refuse to be distracted. And the love that we have in this love frequency that connects us to our divinity is worth way more than somebody's Philios love, somebody's Eros love, that they claim that they love you because we blood. No, no ma'am, no spam, no ham. Take it, keep it, throw it away, throw the whole damn thing away, throw the whole family line away. Y'all could keep it. Keep that, right? We can't awake them. They have drank the blood and eaten the flesh of this Jesus, and I like that, Bernie. I like that. They done drank the blood. They done drank the blood. They ate the flesh. What I was going to say, they eat the bread of sorrow. They eat the bread of sorrow. They in their sorrows. They in their sorrows of tomorrow. Ain't no waking them up. This is not the stage of wake up. I'm not here to wake you up. That's why I said go talk to the sun. That's not my job. I'm not trying to help nobody in my family, and I'm not trying to help nobody out there. If you didn't get it, if you're not meeting me on this timeline, I don't know what to tell you. You could come here and catch some information, catch some bits and pieces, but look, listen, Linda, age of the knowing now, right? We in the age of the knowing. Come get you some. Hell is a state of mind. That's right. It's not a location. It's a state of mind, and I'm so heaven. That's why my name is Celestial Earth, because the celestials is the heaven. That's when I came into my knowing that I'm the bridge. We are the conduits of light, so we bridge light, energy, and information, celestial into the earth, right? Let me see. Okay, I don't have much time here. Let me see. The phone is going, so let me plug it in. Plug it in. Plug it in. Where the plug at? Where did I put the plug? Okay. I can plug some of y'all up right now. Let me see what I've been missing. Uh-oh, it went out. It went out. Okay, I was plugging that